Hey, it's your boy, Mike the Situation, Sorrentino. Welcome to Statute of Limitations. It's the ultimate lineup. It's crooks.
This is not my fault that I stole this car.
It's con men.
This is my chance. I can be rich for life.
It's wannabe kingpins.
We all made together $500,000.
And queen pins.
It was basically a lounge of criminals.
These are stories of the nonviolent lucky punks and Robin Hoods that dodge the law.
I could have gone to prison, not jail, prison.
Because here's the situation, baby. It's only a matter of time before the statute of limitations is up. And technically, you might walk away scot-free. But don't take it from me, guys. I'm obviously no lawyer. This is Statute of Limitations. What's up? I'm Mike the Situation, Sorrentino. Welcome to the show where we find ordinary folks who committed extraordinary crimes way back when. Coming up on this episode of Statute of Limitations, we have some intense folks. We meet the head of the gay mafia and a girl who got major payback on a real-life high school mean girl. How about that? Right now, we've got the story of a small-town kid who moved to the Big Apple and got caught up in a big scam, stealing luxury goods. He could have gone down for grand larceny. Instead, he kept his secret long enough to elude the law. He's like the Don of the sample sale Cosa Nostra. Meet Jeffrey.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey, and in the early 2000s, I committed grand larceny for several years. I started pretty much a gay mafia in New York City where we stole product from the sample sale. I moved to New York City without ever having been to New York City in 2003. I just jumped right in. I thought, hey, I'm gonna start doing comedy and I'm gonna work at a coffee house. This is my life in my 20s. One thing I wasn't prepared for when I moved to New York is just how expensive it was. My roommate and I converted a one-bedroom apartment into a two-bedroom apartment. I was literally living in a living room to save money. You know, you couldn't go out to eat. We made ramen all the time. It was one of those classic struggling artists stories. About a year in, my best friend and my roommate and I started working at a sample sale for high-end designer home decor. Sample sales always sell product for a discounted rate. So this designer would send product that cost thousands of dollars retail. And when you marked it down, sometimes it still cost thousands of dollars. That's how expensive this stuff was. There was ring boxes and necklace holders. There was vases and different types of figurines, picture frames, just like really gaudy stuff, very fancy. It was very popular with a very highbrow sort of Eastern European rich housewives really enjoyed these products. When you're a comedian and a barista in New York City, every side gig is a bonus. I was thrilled to be invited to something that seemed fun. It seemed nice and temporary. It wasn't a big commitment. No one was really looking over my shoulder. There's a manager up at the front, my roommate, and our boss lady was up there. She struck me as someone who did not really keep track of what she was spending. I remember one time, she just surprised us all with some caviar because she had gotten a wild idea, oh, let me get a caviar snack for everybody. We were like, we've never had caviar, but thank you. She'd sit at the front, she'd check everybody out, but she never really was looking in the back or worried about the product, probably because I came off as very trustworthy. So after a few days of the first sample sale, I was cleaning up in the back and I kind of realized, hey, I'm in charge back here. No one's around. What if I just took a few boxes of these things and I slipped them in my backpack? I was nervous at first. But as I slowly walked out the building, I realized no one saw me and they were mine. Who was gonna count anything? So once we got home, my roommate kind of side-eyed me and was like, don't let me see what's in your bag. And I was like, what? Nothing, of course. I was nervous that when my roommate taught me that I would get in trouble. And he was like, and he went into his room. Ultimately, he ended up doing that too, and I never saw him do it. He was better at it than I was. Once I realized that we were kind of in cahoots on this, the first time, the whole world opened up. And I came back the very next day, and then I was ready to go full throttle. As we realized how easy it was to take the product, we just kind of siphoned it during the sale, and then we would sell it online after the sale for lower prices than were even at the sample sale. The customers came and they did the same thing. They would buy product for their homes, but then they'd buy product to sell overseas and stuff. But if I could undercut them on their posting, then my item would get bid on first, and that would blow up into a higher number. All of it was free cash for me, so I didn't care if it went for $500, $800, $1,500. All of it was pure profit for me. So after the first season sample sale, where I kind of got my nerves shaken out, right? I got used to it, and I thought, well, gosh, will they rehire me for the second one? And they did, very easily. My roommate and I got rehired for the second one, no problem. So I guess they didn't notice anything was missing. As the popularity of this product grew, so did the sample sale. So we had to hire more and more people in order to work the sale. And we strategically picked out friends of ours to be a part of it. And thus, the Gay Mafia was born. Not everyone was gay in it, but the gay people ran it. We really kind of graduated in the way we ran our operation. So on the next sale, we had strategically placed our friends as like, okay, you're the door person here, you're the cash register person there, you're gonna be the guy who's watching the sales floor behind the table over here. And they were all people who were also having their backpacks under the table and just kind of putting in a couple here and there. I'll say this for our friends, they definitely didn't take as much as they probably could have, but I certainly did. So in addition to the Gay Mafia, my friend also had us hire temporary workers, people we hired from online, just strangers that were working. Sometimes we had to kind of dance around them. They were very nice people who wanted to replenish the product and bring it from the back to the sales floor. I kind of had to make sure, please don't move those open boxes. Please just go do your work over here. That'd be great. Thank you so much. I had to make sure that they weren't accidentally seeing us steal anything. So I always had to have my eyes on the workers as well. I sometimes thought, certainly somewhere, someone is counting how many boxes are on a truck, how many boxes get sold, and how many boxes come back. The cash I was accumulating wasn't just covering rent. It was covering bills. It was covering my comedy classes. I really kind of felt like, oh, I know this is wrong, but it's so easy that it actually feels good that I'm doing it. Also, it was stealing from rich people, let's be honest. It was gaudy junk that people really don't have any business spending $1,200 on a thing. I was like, these people are spending my monthly rent on these fancy items. Like, there's something wrong. So there was a part of me that also was kind of like, stick it to the man, only I didn't know who the man was. It was just like a faceless designer, I guess, but like, I didn't care. The rich lady boss did bring in another lady to be a manager with her. We did not know this lady. She also didn't seem too warm or approachable. So we were so used to this other bonkers lady being our manager that the new manager kind of scared us a little bit. I thought maybe I was gonna have to cook some books or like come up with some numbers on some sort of paperwork about what's coming off a truck and where is it going. None of my usual fun charms worked on her. She definitely had like a wall around her.
Jeffrey went from a small-time crook to straight-up kingpin in what he calls the Gay Mafia. Forget prison, I'd be more worried about getting whacked by those dudes. But Jeffrey's about to sink in even deeper. All these dirty details are coming out on Statute of Limitations next. We're back with more Statute of Limitations. My man Jeffrey is smack dab in the middle of a scheme to steal high-end goods. Just how much did he steal? Oh man, wait till you guys get a load of this, man. Check this out.
the rich lady boss did bring in another lady to be a manager with her. We did not know this lady. She also didn't seem too warm or approachable. I was a little nervous that none of my usual fun charms worked on her. I didn't care. No one's stopping me, and my realization was no one's going to. So most of the clientele at the sample sale was very rich Eastern European housewives. They would come into the sale and they were working their own angle, right? Sometimes some of these ladies would put little trinkets inside other bigger trinkets and then put that in a box and try to get like 2 for 1 or 3 for 1. Part of the Game Mafia's job was to make sure that the customers weren't stealing. We were also stealing. The irony of busting thieves is not lost on me. You know, it takes one to know one, right? And sometimes some of the ladies, they kind of looked us up and down like, wow, you really have a really good opportunity working here kind of energy. When the customers came to the front, my roommate was checking everybody out and he would take everything out of a box for quality control, but it was really just to make sure that they weren't sticking more than one item into a box, which we busted at least 2 or 3 every season. Deep into the sample sale Mafia extravaganza, we had one sale in particular that an entire box truck backed into the loading dock of the building that we were in. We actually had coordinated some of our friends to be on the street, and they just took entire boxes off the truck and walked themselves down the street. If I was to guess the outreach of the entire Game Mafia in this scheme and how much we all made together, I mean, exponentially, that could be like $500,000. I really have no real way to guess because there's probably things that people stole that I don't even know about. But then something happened that I didn't expect. After many seasons of working this sample sale, we had gotten it streamlined so good, like we had it down pat. But then the big Wall Street market crash happened. You know, when the economy goes in the tanker, the first thing that people cut out is luxurious home decor. And our sample sale went crashed. So they kind of pulled the plug on the sample sale for a while because they just weren't selling any product. We all just kind of graduated, not only in life, but we graduated with money in different directions. We had kind of become more adults, so we kind of kissed our grand larceny days goodbye. I know there's that saying, crime doesn't pay, right? And in this case, it paid me very well. It truly opened up a freedom in me in a time where, as an artist, I was struggling in a very expensive city. I really think the universe was like, hey, you know what, kid? You need a break right now. And so here's an opportunity for you to game the system, work your hustle, throw your charm around, and smoke screen them all and enjoy the money. Certainly now, as an adult, as a 45-year-old man who has like a real career, I would not get so heavily involved in something like the Game Mafia, and I certainly wouldn't lead a Game Mafia. But at the time, at 25 years old, this was the best job I had in my entire life at the time. And that's my story.
Attaboy, Jeffrey, way to not blow it. He could have got multiple years with the New York Department of Corrections, but he stayed on the straight and narrow long enough to keep his butt out of prison. A very, very good situation. Now we go to a story about a former Catholic schoolgirl with a checkered past, thanks to a crime that could have put her in a California big house for 3 years. Luckily, the big guy and the statute of limitations are on her side because she's here to tell her tale. And trust me, this one's a real gem, guys. Meet Ruby.
Hi, my name is Ruby, and over 20 years ago, I committed vandalism and destruction of property. The statute of limitations is up, and I'm ready to tell my story. Back in 1992, I went to a very strict Catholic private school, and we were very repressed, we were so restricted from so many things. So a lot of these girls would lash out at each other because you got all these women, stuck in this high school, and we have a lot of energy, right? And so there was a lot of chaos going on. I mean, we went at each other's throats all the time. My group of friends, we were kind of like the, outcast. We were kind of nerdy. We had this like book club, and we were kind of a little like goth. So we would get picked on a lot. We always had trouble with these like cheerleader types, and we were the juniors, they were the seniors. They had more authority over us. They would go around, with this like pride that they were the best. They would leave stuff in our lockers, trash, prank us all the time, throw glue in our drinks. It was frustrating. I mean, we had to deal with this daily. I had this problem with this girl named Amy. I mean, she would pick on every girl, and she would push us. She would shove us into the locker, and she would always had like 2 girls with her all the time so that we wouldn't, fight back. I was tired of it, I was tired of the bullying. I was tired. It was a buildup that was just like, I just couldn't deal with it anymore. She was just a bully, and no one could stand this girl. So me and my friends, we decided to get even with Amy, and we glued her desk and we threw trash in her desk. We loved seeing her angry and mad. But the bullying almost got worse, and it would not stop. One day, I pull in my nice cherry classic car. I come into the parking lot, and then here comes Amy behind me with her brand new car. And she starts yelling, "You stupid bitch, get out of my parking space. What are you, an idiot?" And I'm just like, what the hell's going on here? There was a lot of parking spaces, and she could have picked another parking spot, and she just decided to pick on me. She humiliated me, and I'm like, what are you talking about? This is your parking spot. There was other girls that were watching what happened, and I was just like, oh my God, nobody came to my defense. I was there by myself. I was scared because she's got 2 other girls that are gonna beat me up. What do I do?
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. It's like my mother always said, you gotta watch out for those Catholic schoolgirls. Trouble for them is like a habit. She's got her tools. Now she's gonna put the car in carnage. On Statute of Limitations, next. Welcome back to Statute of Limitations, where our girl who is bullied is seeing red. Instead of turning the other cheek, she's about to exact a buttload of payback by vandalizing the girl's car. Check this out.
And she starts yelling, "You stupid get out of my parking space." There was other girls that were watching what happened, and I was just like, oh my God, nobody came to my defense. And so I'm just like, okay, fine, I'll get out of the parking space and I'll leave. So I went back home and I cried the whole day. I didn't even go to school because I was so upset, so humiliated. And, it's just a built up of anger. It was just a bad feeling, a very bad feeling. So then I was sitting there in my room and I got to thinking, you know what? She really upset me. I'm starting a plot to get revenge on this. So I came up with a plan to get even with Amy. I'm ready to go over to the school and just vandalize and rip her car apart. So I got all this stuff together, paint, Sharpies, a hammer, and a knife. So I started to think, I don't think it's a really good idea to do this at school. And so I came up with another plan to do it at her house at nighttime. So I'm walking down the sidewalk. Amy doesn't live that far away from me, and I got my bag of destruction, and I'm walking, I see her car, and then someone pulls up right to the right side of me. And I'm like, oh, there's someone watching me. So at this point, I'm thinking, you know what? I gotta wait till tomorrow to do this. So I'm in my room thinking like, oh my gosh, these people saw me. Should I do it? Should I not? But it's like, I'm a junior, she's a senior. If I don't do it now, this will haunt me for the rest of my life if I don't get even. So it's the next night, and I'm walking down the sidewalk, and I'm looking to my left, to my right. There's nobody there. So I'm like, this is my move. I'm, have this adrenaline rush, and I'm angry, and I'm just thinking like, Amy has humiliated me. She bullies me, and I'm just like, you know what? It's time to get even. It's time to rip her car apart. I threw ketchup and mustard all over the car. I threw paint everywhere, and I got my bat and hit the side of her mirror. I got my hammer, and I broke the glass and shattered her window. And just for good measure, I got my knife and slashed her tires. I felt like, an adrenaline rush and, scared at the same time that I was gonna get caught, that someone was watching me, that there was cameras. I'm just like, yes, I totaled her car. I got even with Amy, and then the lights come on, the dogs are barking. I'm like, oh. So I grabbed my bag, threw it over my shoulder, and I get the hell out of there. So the next day I went to school, and everyone's talking about how Amy's car got totaled and trashed. And I'm just like, yes, I got even. I felt good about this. And Amy never found out. She never found out that it was me. And it was an amazing feeling. And I'm just like, yes, that. So now I'm older, and, I had a lot of thinking to do, and, I could have gotten caught, I could have gotten arrested, and, I think about the consequences, and now I'm just like, you know what? I'll never do that again.
When it was all said and done, she never got nailed. And now, thanks to the statute of limitations, she can rest easy, because apparently sins and vandalism truly are forgiven as long as you wait long enough. That's a wrap, guys, for this episode. I'm Mike the Situation Sorrentino. Be sure to check out more crazy-ass stories of folks that fought the law and actually won, baby. See you next time. This program is for entertainment purposes only, and it is not legal advice. The statute of limitations are complicated and depend on many factors. If you need advice, you should seek legal counsel from a competent attorney in your jurisdiction.